rock. Most people enjoy a good story. Imagine a story where you rock. I challenge you to make a difference in the world and then share your story to inspire, bring hope, and encouragement to others. Together, let us create a better, more peaceful world. Let's not just imagine world peace. Let's work for it. Are you doing something rocking in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada, or the world? I'd love to have you on my show to share your rocking stories. We are here with Roma Nowakowski and a visual artist. Welcome.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for coming on my show, and I see you brought lots of beautiful art. So tell us, how did you get started?
Oh, I had a teacher when I was in grade 5, and she was an artist, so she wanted me to draw and paint and to keep it up, and my mother didn't like me drawing instead of studying, but I was, and so she inspired me. And when I needed a name for my show that's on at the museum, Ukrainian Museum on Avenue M and 20th Street, my son said, "Oh, Mom, the name you should have is Roma, Inspired for Life."
Well, that's a beautiful name.
Isn't it?
And how long is that show going to be on?
It'll be on until May the 6th, but
Okay.
they're only open on Sundays, so that's kind of too bad. But they're not finished the building yet. It's a brand new building, and they have only volunteers running it. So they are still just on Sunday afternoons from about 12 till 4 or 4:30. And my show is on from different times of my life that I've painted. And like I said, I've been painting many years. And in North Battleford, we moved to North Battleford from Spears and Richard, where we farmed. And then I joined the art club in North Battleford, and we were so lucky to be able to have university classes taught in North Battleford.
Well, that is wonderful.
Off-campus classes. So we had two different profs. I think there was about 5 years or something like that they were coming, and I was taking it all the time from them, and learned so much. And I didn't take it to get a degree. I just wanted to learn to paint better. And so that's how it worked. And I had a full-time job, and I had 3 children at home, and I thought I won't have time to study for exams, so that's why I didn't take it that way. But I learned so much, and one of the profs, he was so wonderful. He just pushed me into experimenting, and I brought some pictures to show you what
Well, I'd love to
I
see
had
them.
done. So the first one I didn't have much time because it was September. So
Okay, I'll hold that up for you, and you can talk about this picture.
yeah, so I just did putting little dots here and there everywhere just to show something, you know. And I thought he's going to give me heck, because the year before he was teaching, and we had to use really large sheets of paper, and it was all drawing. And he didn't give me heck. He just says, you know, you could do a whole series in that style and push it as far as you can. I didn't know exactly what he meant by that, but then I went home and I did one with bigger dots.
Oh, lovely. Is that dots called something?
Or
is it just
pointillism, I guess.
Pointillism? For sure. And they look like they're in the shape of an egg.
Yeah, well,
Is that intentional?
No, these are mats that I was
Okay,
able to
mats.
get.
Okay.
And then I thought, okay, I'll push it a little further. So now these are like stripes.
Oh, awesome. So you just experimented.
I just was experimenting, having fun.
Well, you did a good job. I wish I could do that and having fun.
And then I did this one, and I got so excited because that one just sort of was an enlargement of one of the little areas from here.
Oh, I see that. Yeah, you can see that it's an enlargement of one of those areas. So these are some of the first paintings you did?
With the university professor, yeah.
And what year was this about?
Is there a year? Yeah,
Yeah,
1980.
80, so that's a
Yeah.
long time ago,
Yeah.
but from there you've progressed. And,
Yes.
and how many paintings do you think you have out there now? Too many to count.
Well, I have names of people who have my paintings.
Well, you have a whole book, isn't this? Paintings by Roma?
Yes.
And they're all in this book here. This
Yeah,
beautiful book
the
of
pictures
all
of
your
them.
paintings.
Pictures are there.
Pictures of the paintings, eh?
Yeah, but the names of the people who have my paintings, There's in this book, and there's about 300.
Holy, that actually have your paintings,
have my
but then you
paintings.
have other paintings at this art show that they
Yeah,
don't have.
That's
So,
right, and some of them have more than one painting.
oh my goodness.
So you see, I've been painting all my life,
Yes.
and I've been teaching art
Okay.
too.
So talk about teaching. What kind of
Yes.
teaching are you doing in art?
Well, right now I'm just teaching one gentleman that lives in the same apartment building as we do, and he's doing wonderful. And I had before him, when we moved into the apartment on Columbian Place on Avenue M, I had about 8 or 9 women that wanted to take it. And so they started, and then some of them dropped out because they thought, no, that's not quite what they want to do, and that's fine. And then there was a couple of them that turned out to be really good. One of them moved out to Victoria. Her son bought her a place there. So, but she really did well. And I also have been teaching at the nursing home, St. Joseph's Nursing Home, to the residents there. And their families were so thrilled because they didn't know their mother could do anything like that, you know.
Isn't that wonderful?
And I also did teach at one of the schools in Saskatoon here, but that was just an evening once a week for, I think, 8 weeks for some children and for adults. But I taught in many villages around North Battleford too, and it went really good. I remember having coffee at a restaurant, and I saw a man drawing on a napkin. And as I walked by him, I said, gee, that's really pretty good. And he says, well, you taught me the best thing I ever did. And that was at Meota, the village of Meota.
Well, isn't that wonderful? So you don't know how you touch people,
Right.
and especially with your art, and it's obviously in your blood, or it's a passion
it is,
for you.
Sure, very much so.
Yeah.
And when I mentioned that to my the lady that did framing of my paintings, and I said, this gentleman, but I don't know his name. And she says, oh, I know. People bring in his napkins to be framed.
Really? Well, it must be pretty good. Well, you rock, and I'm so glad that you could come on my show and share some of your beautiful paintings. So let's talk about this one. This
Yes.
is so beautiful, the colors. I love the
Thank
colors.
you. Well, since I have my show at the museum, that's already been 4 Sundays, I've already got 7 commissions to do.
Really?
And this is one of them. I decided I better do it now because I'll have it there well, they're not open this Sunday because it's Easter, but she'll get it the following Sunday. And she wanted red and yellow poppies, something like one that I had in there. And that's what she's getting. So that's a commission one.
So how long does it take you to do from
Since
start to finish?
Since I started in grade 5.
Yeah? No, for one painting, for example. Do you sketch it out first, or what's the process?
No, I don't. I just use a big brush and go at it.
You just go at it. You
Yeah.
have the idea in your head ahead of
More
time?
or less, yeah. I
Yeah?
have a few pictures that I could look at just to see how I want to put them or what I want. But when they tell me what they want, she wanted red and yellow poppies, and she liked purple in there because that goes so nicely with the yellow. And
It does. It looks so beautiful.
Yeah, so that's what I did with that one. And then I did, another gentleman wanted just a little one, 8 by 10 in size. So that's a little bit smaller than this.
Okay.
And he wanted of storks.
Okay.
Because there's one in the show of storks.
Okay,
And
of
he
course.
wanted similar to that.
And in Ukraine, there's a lot of storks.
That's right.
And they're always perched up there. So
Yeah,
it's very
yeah.
inspiring, isn't it,
They're
to
right
see
in
them?
the villages. They're not out in the bushes in the country. They're right there. So that's what I did for him, and he was so thrilled.
Wow.
Now, any paintings of mine or cards, because I have quite a few greeting cards there for sale too.
Okay.
That all goes to the museum. The money goes to the museum.
Oh.
I'm not taking any of it, but I felt that they need to build that museum up, and they've managed enough money to get an elevator put in this last fall. But they still have lots of work to do, and they need the money. So I'm happy to donate. to
Well,
them.
you rock for doing that, and also for contributing back. So you have this
you.
beautiful gift
Yeah.
that you developed and you share with the world, and now you're contributing back. So
Oh, yes.
that's what it's all about, isn't
That's
it?
right, yeah.
Yes,
And
for
some
sure.
of the paintings that I used to do with experimenting, they were very large, and I'd put the canvas on the floor, and I would just have fun, like you said. So I would just like and go at it, and then so a couple of paintings that are in the museum, the backgrounds were done 30 years ago, and after I came back from Ukraine, I added the churches in, into one of the backgrounds there, and then the other one I put women as well working in the fields. So the people really enjoy seeing those.
So you could draw or do anything you want.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's unlimited.
Unlimited, yeah.
For sure.
See, here's the drawing that I did.
Look at this
I
beautiful
always had
sketch.
a sketchbook with me, so.
Well, so this is what you do when you have spare time. Is
Yeah,
you sketch.
I have lots of sketchbooks.
Oh, aren't they wonderful?
Because I was to visit my son to Rome, and from there we went to Athens, Greece, and had sketchbooks with me. But this is the one I'm talking about, and that's a card.
Oh, isn't that beautiful? That it's a card,
See,
eh?
and that's the churches coming out of we call it the catacombs, because that was in 91. They weren't allowed to celebrate in the Catholic churches, the Russian government.
Okay.
So that's what happened. But
that's in Ukraine, and
yeah. People just love that.
It is a beautiful card.
So I had some cards made up because I have other cards there for sale, but not this one, and people wanted this one, so that's why I had that done.
So what are some tips you can give people if they want to start drawing or painting or become an artist? Is there some tips advice you could give someone?
Well, just get doing something, get pencils or whatever, different shapes of pencils, or light or darker, and just try drawing something, looking at something, and look at some books, and there's so much information now in all the beautiful books that people have put out, and just try and see how it works. But
are you available to teach others?
Well, right now my husband's not well, so I had to kind of cut back a bit on teaching. But I don't mind. I love teaching better than painting, to tell you the truth, because I get so excited about what you could do from my suggestions,
Well, anyway, you rock, and thank you for being on my show. It's been an honor to have you here, and good luck with your show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, and I hope people get to see my show.
I hope so, too. That was Roma Nowakowski, visual artist.